What up, database Data007 here. Today, or should I say tonight, since Halloween's right around the corner, I thought, why not just make a top 10 list of what I consider to be the worst horror movies ever made. Now, these are my choices, so don't go nuts if you don't agree. In fact, I'd love to see what yours would be. Anyway, let's begin. Number 10, House of the Dead. While the House of the Dead video game franchise is a very good franchise, it's entertaining and addicting until this movie came out. Anyhow, this movie is pretty much almost unfrightening. It's confusing, and we'll leave it at that. It's just a dud. Number 9, Alone in the Dark. Alone in the Dark was one of those great survival horror games, but this movie is just completely out of genre. By that I mean, for a title that says Alone in the Dark, the character is not really alone in the dark. Meaning that he has other people with him. Anyhow, the acting is lousy, and everything is just horrible. Okay, number 8, Exorcist 2. Yeah. This could not be any more different than the first movie. It's not scary, creepy, or at least bit coherent. This movie even goes into sci-fi territory. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, this... Anyway, the writers basically pretty much had no idea how to continue the story. All they did was just put a cheap way to bring the demon back into the story. Anyhow, let's move on. Number 7, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Now, anyhow, why is this on a list? Well, for a number of reasons. And one, it's the third installment, and just, nothing has changed. It's the same thing over and over again. If you want my preferences, just watch the first 2 movies and avoid this one and the prequel. Number 6, Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 version remake. Anyhow, there are several problems with this. For one, they're telling too much about the killer, and the backstory for Freddy I did not like at all. 2, there are way too many nightmares in this movie. Because unlike the original that had very little and actually built up to each nightmare, unlike this one that literally just throws the characters into these nightmares with no rhyme or reason. Just random times. If there's any credit I'll give to this, is Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy. That's all I have to say about this movie. It's crap. Number 5, Halloween 2, the 2009 version. Good grief. Now, the first one, in terms of remake, was not bad. I actually liked the backstory for Michael Myers. Showed him as a kid and how he became the psychotic killer. This one, on the other hand, is just awful. And you want to know what one thing that kills any sense of creepiness in this movie? The fact that Michael Myers pretty much only has half a mask now, with his face revealed, makes it less creepy. And just takes everything away from it. Not to mention the acting is completely dreadful. That's all I have to say. Number 4, all the Saw sequels. Now, I will admit something. When I saw the first Saw movie, it was really entertaining, and actually, sure, it was bloody as crap, and I ended up puking near the end, but it was still an enjoyable movie. Anyway, the sequels, they were pretty much in the same situation that the Chainsaw Massacre 3 was. Is that it's the same thing over and over again. And that's pretty much all I have to say. It gets so tiresome. But guess what? The series ain't over yet. Number 3, Freddy vs. Jason. I know this one has its fan base, but all I'm just going to say is the acting is dreadful, the story is confusing, and not to mention everything in this movie just turns out wrong. If there's any credit I'll give is that the actor who played Freddy, can't remember his name, and the actor who plays Jason, and the look of them both. But anything else, I hate this movie. So that's all I have to say about it. Number 2, Ouija. Did you ever want a horror movie that is so overly dramatic and so senseless that you literally want that you end up laughing instead of being scared? Well, that's just how that was when I went and saw the movie in theaters. I was laughing the entire time it was playing. I was either laughing or just rolling my eyes. This is just a crappy movie. It doesn't even deserve to be out there. Number 1, Jason X. Oh my gosh. Okay, so none of the Friday the 13th sequels are good. They're all just rushed messes. None are worse than this one. For one, the story takes place in the future, and then Jason's in the future, and they upgrade his costume, which makes him look like a total retard. And not to mention, the cast is dreadful, the acting is horrendous, and it's just downright unwatchable. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.